Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about how many days I've actually been working here on site. But you can see now that the trusses have been craned in. That was a fantastic job. And if you haven't seen that, check the video before this one. So I've got the scaffolders on site, and these guys are pretty amazing. They're really well set up, and there was a good team of them here. They said to me they'd have it done in about a morning, and I was thinking, yeah, we'll see. But they did. They just got stuck into it and cracked on. And in the background, you can just see me there. I'm shifting some timber work around. I'm setting a few bits and pieces out. So while they're working, I'm busy doing my own thing. I also want to talk about in this video how many man days I've been working on this job. And if you think about a man day for a skilled craftsperson being somewhere in the order of £250 a day upwards, basically. I know some tradespeople who are earning well in excess of £350 a day, but for that you're getting someone who's got all his own tools and transport and can deliver a product. Anyway, stick around, watch the video for more about that as we get on. But in the meantime, I'm going to have a little chat with one of the scaffolders as they finish. So enjoy.
Luke and the chaps from Genetic have done an amazing job. So I've been standing around watching, so I'm going to get on in a minute. How'd you get on? All right?
Yeah, great. Yeah, it's quite an easy, straightforward one. Just a simple base out. Obviously, floor work for us is easy enough.
What do you call floor work?
Well, just being on the floor, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just being on the floor, base out. Obviously, just one lift.
Yeah.
Not going up high. Sometimes it's quite nice for us.
Yeah, well, that's what I get off on. I'll be up the top there later doing
that's
it. Bit, you know what I mean? Yeah, you're a wonderful firm. You're very well organised. And what's that? 4 or 5 hours and it's done?
I would say, yeah, 4 or 5 hours. A couple of little technical bits, obviously, where you got like a few angles on the building. It's a very odd shaped building. But yeah, we get there in the end, and obviously I hope that what we've done works for you.
Oh, it's going to be amazing. We couldn't put it up until we got the trusses in.
Yes.
Because of the little crane, you know, and jibbing and all the rest of it. But no, that's fantastic. So it'll be here now for a while, and I'll give you a shout, and you can come and take it down again.
Lovely. Yeah, we look forward to it.
Mate,
hopefully in the summer.
Yeah, thank you so much.
No, you're welcome. No worries.
Yeah, I'll catch you soon.
Yeah, you too. Yeah, nice one. Thank you.
I now have a beautiful scaffold platform to work on. We lifted the trusses in before we put the scaffold up, just in case anything was in the way. When you're swinging great big elements like that round, you don't want to be clashing into standards or other parts of the scaffolding. We just thought it was sensible to do it like that. So I've now got my scaffolding. The scaffolders were great. They were in and out in a flash, very well organised. And I'm super excited because now's the time for me to cut on the roof. It's actually just before Christmas, so I'm not going to get time to actually get it on. But what I am doing is preparing a lot of it and cutting a lot of it. I've actually just cut a pattern and balanced it in there above the purlin, just to see how it relates to Dan's work, where he's put these little notches right at the top of the king post. And of course, if you can imagine, when all this stuff goes together and it's projected as well where the joints are, you know, there's a tolerance there. So what I'm going to have to do is make a pair, try them in everywhere. It doesn't take long, just to get the ridge exactly where I want it. And then the ridge actually notches in to the tops of those king posts up there. You can see a bit of random timber sticking up. That's just where we were, you know, knocking it together when we were putting them together. So that's what I'm basically going to do. I'm going to start breaking out rafters. I will start by making, like that, a pattern. From the pattern, I'll cut some pairs. Once I've got some pairs, I'll just get the ridges in and check all of the dimensions. And the ridge will go in marked, the wall plates will get marked, and it will be plain sailing. It's just a matter of connecting timber together then. So that's what I'll be doing. I'll just give you a little bit of a close-up view of what we've done over there already. So there's all my rafter material there. You can see there's a template foot there. That's the foot that I sent to Dan for when he was setting out the ends of the truss, how it related to my wall structure, and also the height above that cord for the purlin, which is effectively what the rafter will get fixed down to. The rafter is fully supported. We'll go and have a look over on the other side. It's been an epic job so far. I worked out today, I've been here for 3 weeks and 2 days, but I've had a couple of days off as well. So 3 weeks effectively, 15 man days I've been on site. And of that, Ed's been here for 5 man days and Dan has helped me for 2. So altogether, let's work this out. It's 15, 20, 22 man days it's taken to get this structure built. And apart from the oak stuff that Dan's been doing in the workshop, of course. So there's a pattern rafter, just bird's mouthed over the wall structure there. And it flies up, sits on the purlin, and then goes up to the center of those king post notches that you can kind of make out in the tops of those notches there. And what I've actually done is cut, effectively, a point as if 2 rafters were going to meet. Let me try and zoom in there. Okay, it's a bit dark. It's a bit, just the way the light's catching it, I'm afraid. But anyway, it'll all become clear as I start making it. I will also do a simple how I make the rafters. It's very straightforward, mathematical calculation used on the app. Let's have a quick tour round of everything. You can see the black DPM protective sheeting I put inside. And before I break up, I'm going to tack a wide damp course over the top. So the edge of this OSB doesn't get any more moisture there. And you'll notice that I'm actually bird's mouthing over everything, OSB and the plate, and then I'll be using a serious fixing all the way through into the wall plate as well as our nails. It's beautifully fixed. It's just much nicer than coming up underneath, because the OSB invariably won't make the wall plates on the top here. And if they don't make the wall plates on the top, you don't get that lovely solid rigidity. There's the tie beam. I'm building the gables off of that, which pick up these purlins here. Then when we put this oak section through here, I've got a 50-degree roof going back underneath the main roof, and then coming up against these gables over these tie beams. And these walls will carry on up into that pitch and it will look absolutely mint. So there we go. Right, next job, or my final job tomorrow, will be breaking out some rafters, getting the ridges in and just getting it up to a point where I can say, right, that's it, break up for Christmas. When I get back here in the new year, I can hit the ground running. So I'm going to set myself up today. All of the rafters are exactly the same, apart from when we get to what we call the barn end, and I've got a little lovely gablet on that as well, which we'll come on to in another video. I'm going to have an early day.